Of CECs. When you're seated before this house, did you come across any video where MCAs were threatening or were making certain remarks about the nomination of your CECs?
They said they will not pass the CECs unless I sit down with them and discuss about word for word.
Did you ever present any list of CECs to the County Assembly of Meru?
I did 10 of them.
10 of them. How many were approved?
3.
Very briefly, I want you to talk about some of the members that were rejected, their qualifications, in 2 minutes, kindly. Were they incompetent? What kind of people had you presented for them to be rejected?
One is Dr. Kiambi Adero, who is water engineer with an experience of over 20 years, a PhD holder.
Another one?
Another one is Kariminjeru.
What are the qualifications?
She owns master's degree.
What other person was rejected? We will not go through all of them, but the last one?
The last one is a young lady who was supposed to be the CEC for youth and sports, and she was also qualified.
Were you given any report as to why those 7 names were rejected?
No.
They never gave you any report?
Yes.
Why did you restructure your government, Honorable Governor?
I thought it was easy for me and good for me to restructure so that at least we can move on with the business or the functions of the government.
Was business of the government not going on?
Minus the 7 CECs, I thought it would be a bit hard. So I decided to reorganize and then assign the 3, those who have been passed, to handle at least 2 dockets each for us to move forward.
Thank you. Before the red light goes on, you have been termed as the modern day Hitler, Adolf Hitler, that we need to sacrifice you for the county of Meru to prosper, that you are not seeing eye to eye with any of the elected leaders, that you are a lone ranger, that you are very arrogant. That is the picture that has been painted by the County Assembly of Meru. Is that who you are? Are you that modern day Adolf Hitler? An all-powerful, all-knowing, omnipresent person that does not require any input from any other person. Is that you, Governor KAWIRA?
It is very unfortunate, and that is the narrative that have been sold by maybe the MCAs or my political competitors, just to show and paint the bad part, which I'm not.
Are you in working terms with any of the elected leaders within Meru?
Yes, I am.
Kindly mention.
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. If I could just get 3 more so that I have 5 to conclude that line of examination, kindly. Governor KAWIRA, are you in any working terms with any of the elected leaders in Meru?
I'm in terms with almost all of them.
Even the members of County Assembly?
Yes, because for the last 2 months, I've been going around with them to take development to their counties, and for more than 26 ones, I've been with the relevant or the area MCAs with me.
What was the purpose of your visit in those wards?
To take development.
Did the MCAs of those respective wards accompany you?
Yes, they did. More than 20.
More than 20?
Yes.
Let's talk about other elected leaders. Which other elected leader are you working with, or are you able to work with within Meru?
The CS Agriculture, the MP Northimenti, the MP Bore, and many other leaders.
Many other leaders?
Yes.
Have you ever sat down with any of these other leaders during the 3 months that you have been in office before the impeachment motion was brought?
I've sat down with all of them after my election.
All of them?
Yes.
Let's talk about your efforts to bring about unity in Meru, if any. What initiatives have you taken Because obviously, Governor, there is a problem in MERU. First, do you agree there is a problem in MERU?
There is a problem, but not the entire MERU. The problem is between the executive or myself and the MCAs.
What efforts have you made to bring about peace or create a working environment with other leaders?
I've invited them severally via a letter through the speaker to come and sit down and speak as leaders of MERU. I've invited the members of National Assembly through their chairperson, Honorable Mutunga. I've gone ahead, invited Jorin Cheke to come on board and try to bring us together. I've gone ahead, talked to the Council of Governors through our chair so that we can meet and have a dialogue. I've gone ahead, consulted bishops of MERU so that we can sit down and have a way forward.
Let's talk about the meeting that was chaired by the Council of Governors. What transpired in that meeting? But before we go to what transpired, who was in attendance in that meeting?
The leadership of County Assembly of MERU and myself and 10 governors.
Specifically, what leadership from MERU County?
The Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, the Whip, the Minority Leader, around 5 of them.
Was the mover of this motion present in that meeting?
Yes,
DMK.
He was present.
Was Honorable Mwenda Ithili present in that meeting?
He was present.
Was Honorable Mawera in that meeting?
He was present.
And the Speaker was present?
He was present.
What was the agenda of that meeting, especially from members of County Assembly? What demands were made?
The demands were that I give them or allocate word fund to them. The other demand is that they wanted the first gentleman not to accompany me in any meeting.
Any other demand?
The other one was I had planned to have a rally at Metongo, where the majority leader comes from, and they insisted that I cancel the meeting.
Did you cede to any of those demands?
Yes, I cancelled the meeting for Metongo, which was advertised for 1 week. Number 2, I also talked humbly with the first gentleman, and we agreed that at least he keep off the meetings.
And has the first gentleman heeded to your advice?
Yes.
Has he been in any public meeting ever since?
No.
He has not. Let's talk about the word fund a bit, and that's my last question. Why have you refused to release the word fund to the MCAs of MERU?
I have not refused to release the word fund. I met a budget which was from the previous regime, which unallocated not word fund, but 10 million equalization fund to every ward. And I thought it was prudent for us to continue with that one, which MCAs insisted that it was very retro because the first governor had given them 25 million, the second governor 20 million, and they wondered why I had only to surrender 10 million.
Did you ever understand how the 20 million and 30 million was dispersed to the MCAs?
No.
Was there any structure, or rather legal framework for the release of that amount?
There was no legal framework.
And what was your proposal in regard to the demand by MCAs?
My proposal was even in my address that we meet and then get a way forward, and also a legal framework on how we shall have the word fund.
Thank you very much, Honorable Governor. I think for now I'll leave it at that. Honorable Chair, I yield the witness to my learned friend for cross-examination.
Dr. Mudomi.